Rich people don't just want more money. They want things the rest of us couldn't even imagine. Gold-plated toilets, private islands, pet tigers. But here's the part that really makes people whisper at night. What if the ultimate luxury isn't a car or a yacht, but control over life itself? There's a theory that the world's most powerful aren't chasing jewels or jets. They're chasing immortality. And hidden in that search is a trail of science experiments, secret projects, and whispers of cloning labs that could make even the boldest billionaire look small. It all started decades ago, not with celebrities or Silicon Valley tech bros, but in the quiet corners of Cold War science. Researchers in the 1960s were already testing whether cloning was possible. They worked with frogs, mice, even sheep, and the idea was dismissed by most as pure science fiction. Until 1996, when one sheep changed everything. Her name was Dolly, and her birth proved that cloning wasn't just fantasy, it was real. For most people, it was a miracle of biology. For the elite, it was a spark. If you could copy a sheep, why not something bigger? Why not a human? From there, rumors grew fast. Underground stories claimed billionaires were funding private labs. Some said they wanted backups of their own bodies in case of illness. Others whispered about attempts to clone children lost too soon. And in the strangest corners of the internet, the theory took a darker turn. Celebrities replaced by clones. Politicians swapped with doubles. Pop stars who never age because they're not the originals. It sounds wild, but when fans dug into photos and spotted small inconsistencies, different ears, shifting jawlines, it fueled the fire. And here's the twist. Cloning isn't the only road to forever. Real scientists are pouring billions into anti-aging. Blood transfusions from the young to the old, gene editing tools like CRISPR, cryogenic freezing. If you've got enough money, there's always a new path to chase. Tech moguls brag about reversing their biological age. Startups sell longevity cocktails that promise to reset your body clock. Some experiments are so extreme that test subjects aren't volunteers. They're the rich themselves. If it sounds like a modern fountain of youth, that's exactly the point. But fiction and fact start to blur. In Hollywood, cloning jokes became conspiracy fuel. Movies showed stars reborn in labs, governments crafting armies of duplicates. Online forums turned satire into evidence, and suddenly, every celebrity who acted strange was labeled a clone. When rapper Gucci Mane returned from prison with a fitter body, people swore he'd been swapped. When Avril Lavigne disappeared for years and then came back with a new look, entire communities built the theory that the real Avril was gone, and her double had taken over. And the list doesn't stop there. Conspiracy theorists pointed at Paul McCartney, claiming he secretly died in the 1960s and was replaced with a double who carried on his career. They dissected his album covers, compared lyrics, even analyzed the curve of his smile. Others accused Beyoncé of having replacements to protect her image. The theories grew so loud that they became part of pop culture itself, feeding a cycle where celebrities joked about the rumors while fans only took it as further proof. Meanwhile, real science kept moving quietly in the background. In California, private labs experimented with stem cell treatments and organ regeneration. In Japan, researchers tested artificial wombs, raising questions about how far humanity could go in replicating life. And in Silicon Valley, billionaires like Peter Thiel, Jeff Bezos, and Larry Page quietly poured fortunes into companies chasing immortality. Some projects focused on reversing aging at the cellular level, while others looked into uploading human consciousness into machines. To most, it sounded like science fiction. To the people funding it, it was the next step in evolution. This is where things get even more unsettling. While the rest of the world debates whether cloning is even possible, billionaires are already building networks around biohacking. Exclusive conferences, hidden clinics, and invite-only retreats where the wealthy trade notes on experimental therapies. It's not just about living longer, it's about creating a new class divide. Imagine a future where the ultra-rich live 150 years, while the rest of us barely make it to 80. That's not a rumor. That's the trajectory being set right now. And here's the irony. The louder the internet screams about celebrity clones, the more the real experiments slip under the radar. People get distracted by TikTok evidence of doppelgangers while the true breakthroughs are happening in quiet, clinical labs. Conspiracies keep the public busy while the elite quietly rewrite the rules of life and death. The real question isn't whether Beyoncé or Avril has a clone, it's whether billionaires will be the first humans in history to buy themselves out of mortality. Of course, most scientists dismiss the wildest theories as nonsense. Human cloning is still illegal in most countries, and even if it were possible, it would be wildly unstable. But here's the thing. The internet doesn't run on facts. It runs on vibes. And the vibe of hidden labs, shadow experiments, and powerful people trying to cheat death is irresistible. Every blurry video, every weird photo, every slip of the tongue becomes fuel. And when fear spreads faster than truth, even fiction feels undeniable. The real story is simpler, but maybe scarier. Elites are absolutely pouring billions into longevity tech. Not magic, not secret clones, but real labs, real trials, real experiments. While most people are just trying to make it to payday, the ultra-rich are trying to buy more decades, maybe even centuries. And while we argue about clones on TikTok, they're actually reshaping what it means to age, to live, and maybe to die. So ask yourself this: what's more terrifying? A hidden world of celebrity doubles hiding in plain sight? Or the fact that a handful of billionaires might live twice as long as the rest of us, leaving us behind in every sense of the word? Sometimes the wildest conspiracy isn't the one about secret labs. It's the quiet truth staring us in the face.